show's only just begun.
What's up, YouTube Metaverse? This is your boy Meta Bro J, representing the squad, the Super Meta Bros. And today we are back, baby, with the updated Toon deck profile for the December 2020/January 2021 format. And this deck, ladies and gentlemen, is straight fire. This is the deck that's going up against the meta. Check out the link down below for episode 1 of Toons versus the Meta. That'll be down in the description below. This is the deck right here, you guys, that's going into these battles with all the meta decks. This deck right here was built to go up against pretty much anything, and it can outlast the storm. I play this deck all the time. I play test it. I'm a big Toon fan, so we're gonna get into this. This is straight epic. Hang tight, you guys. Strap on your seatbelt. Let's get ready for the Toons, baby. The new Toons. Stay tuned for this. Yes, and let's get into the crazy, insane deck profile, baby. Woo! All right, y'all, here we go. We gotta start with the best field spell in all the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We gotta go with 3 Toon Kingdom and the 1 Terraforming. You already know, you guys, we gotta get the Toon Kingdom. It's not absolutely necessary in the deck, but it's definitely a win condition. If you have Toon Kingdom and your Toons on the field, it's gonna be hard for your opponent to get over your Toons unless they get rid of the Toon Kingdom. Usually, a lot of the new meta decks, you could pop stuff, maybe you could target to destroy, but now with the release of the new support that the Toons got in the recent Toon Chaos set, the Toons are a lot better to play and the deck functions 100% better, but you definitely need the 3 Toon Kingdoms and the 1 Terraforming. This is pretty much your 4th copy of Toon Kingdom. You want to see Toon Kingdom in your first hand or search it in your first hand if you absolutely can. So, Toon Kingdom, straight fire, you guys. Still the best field spell in all the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, and then we got obviously you got to play the 3 Toon Table of Contents. This is just your generic searcher, the best searcher in all the game. Searches out any Toon card from your deck to your hand. That simple. Not even once per turn. Gotta run those at 3. Also gotta run at 3 of my second favorite card of all time, the Toon Bookmark. Not only is his effect awesome, like Toon Table of Contents, so it's pretty much the same thing, but this has to search out anything that has Toon World in its text instead of just any Toon card. So it also has the protection effect where if it's in the graveyard and your Toon Kingdom gets popped, you could just banish to save it. So very nice. Toon Bookmark, also gotta love the artwork on this card, guys. It looks like one of them old nostalgic Pegasus cards. So very awesome, very awesome. Toon Bookmark, gotta run it at 3, mandatory. Also, I upped this. I was playing it at 2 before, but I upped it back up to 3 because I added a few more monsters in there, you guys. But you got to run this at 3. Toon Page-Flip. You want to special summon one of your Toon monsters out first turn, no matter what. And, sometimes you could get your opponent by surprise. This is a quick play spell, so you can set it on the field and special summon on your opponent's turn if you absolutely have to. Maybe to protect your life points or something like that. But 3 Toon Page-Flip, got to run it. Okay, also run 3 of Pot of Extravagance. There was a little version before I built this version of the deck that didn't run Pot of Extravagance because I was more focused on the Dragoon aspect, like resolving Verte Anaconda and making sure Dragoon gets on the field. But Pot of Extravagance is the perfect draw card for this deck. You just banish the 6, you draw 2 from your extra deck, and I mean, you do run Dragoons in this build, but if it gets banished or Verte Anaconda gets banished, I mean, it's not so bad. The Toon engine could still run on itself. Dragoons is just extra icing on the cake. Pot of Extravagance at 3 is the best draw power in all the game. And then also, gotta run, this is my first favorite card of all time, the 3 Lightning Storm. This is the New Age Regeki, the New Age Dark Hole, and the New Age Harpie's Feather Duster all in one card. So as long as you have no set cards, you just blow up your opponent's field you choose. So awesome. Got to run it at 3. You definitely want to see it in your hand or top deck it for your 6th card. You'll just blow out your opponent. If they cannot negate it, awesome for the Toons. So got to run Lightning Storm at 3. Run the 1 comic hand. You could search this out with Toon Bookmark, and you could definitely get this to your hand because it does have Toon World in its text, and you can steal one of your opponent's monsters, and there's nothing they could really do about it. So unless it's an untargetable monster, this won't affect it, but any other monster like Borreload Savage, if you just bait out their effect, they only could do it once per turn. Then you comic hand it, you steal it for yourself, and there you go. Comic hand's at 1 though, because it's searchable. I run Red Eyes Fusion. So Red Eyes Fusion, obviously for the Dragoon package, it's a very nice hard draw. If you hard draw it and none of your Dark Magician or your Red Eyes is not in the graveyard, Red Eyes Fusion, I mean, you won't have to special summon any other monsters that turn, but at least to get Dragoons out to the field, and Dragoons is a game winner. So you gotta run Red Eyes Fusion at 1. All right, now I'm gonna go into the monsters. You gotta run the 3 Toon BLS, the boss monster of the deck. Glad this card came out. I'm glad it exists. This card right here makes the Toons functionable in my eyes as far as the monster aspect of it. You could attack on the first turn. If Toon World is on the field, you could target 1 card on the field and banish it. So it's very good to get rid of back row, any floodgates, stuff like that. Toon BLS could get over that stuff. So the only thing with that is if he target and banishes, he cannot attack that turn. So choose wisely. Toon BLS, you definitely gotta run him at 3. That's mandatory. All right, next card, next monsters. We'll go with the 2 Toon Dark Magician / combo starter. You get to the cards in your hand. His effect is once per turn, you could pitch a Toon card from your hand, and you could either search a Toon spell or trap from the deck to the hand, or you could special summon a Toon monster from the deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So Toon Dark Magician is definitely good at 2. Next monster you run is the 2 Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Now this one, I was actually running a build that had 3 of this card, but he got a little cloggy. You kind of don't want to draw him in your first hand because then he's just pretty much discard fodder. But Red Eyes Toon Dragon, he's definitely a good card once he's on the field because he lets you special summon any Toon monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions once per turn. So him plus either Toon Dark Magician or Toon BLS, very, very good. So Red Eyes Toon, very good card. There's also another reason why I cut that card down to 2, and I'll explain in a little bit. But I got the 1 Toon Harpie Lady. Her effect is if Toon World's on the field and you control another Toon monster, you could activate her effect to special summon herself from your hand to the field, and she could target, destroy 1 spell trap card your opponent controls. So she's some back row removal, and she's a level 4, which ain't bad. The only bad thing is she has summoning sickness, so you could just overlay, put her in defense, or just pop something in the back. You just got to get rid of it. But Toon Harpie Lady is definitely good at 1. She's also searchable. I also run the 2 Toon Mermaids. Now, for the most part, you have Toon Kingdom on the field most of the time. So Toon Mermaid, she's a good card to hard draw. You special summon her to the field if you need a monster. Even if you have 2 of them and Toon Kingdom on the field, you could special summon both of them and overlay for a rank 4. So it's not bad. Toon Mermaid, just a free special summon. You really don't want to attack with her because you have to spend 500 life points in order to attack. But I know sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. But Toon Mermaid's definitely a good card to have in the Toon deck. So run her at 2 for right now. Next card, those are pretty much it for the Toons. So I'm going into the other monsters to run the 3 Black Stone of Legend. Now this card might as well be a Toon card. A very good opener card for this deck. You normal summon, and then its effect is it can tribute itself to special summon 1 Red Eyes monster from the deck. So you automatically go into the Red Eyes Toon Dragon, and then you can just start going off from there. I mean, it can be hit though with Ash Blossom. It's even a good bait card. You just normal summon it, and if you have other things in your hand, you let your opponent hit this card when you activate the effect, then you just go off with everything else in your hand. So, and then worst comes to worst, if it does get hit by Ash or gets hit by Effect Veiler, you could just link off for a link 1. I'll get into those in a little bit, but the reason I cut my Red Eyes count down to 2 in the deck is because this card right here also lets you recycle cards. Not just any cards though, just your Red Eyes cards. If it's in the graveyard, you could add the card back from the graveyard to your hand to shuffle one Red Eyes monster that's in your graveyard back into the deck and shuffle the deck. So it just recycles the Red Eyes Toon Dragon. You gotta run 3 of this, Blackstone of Legend. Going into the hand traps, run 3 Ash Blossom, just the most generic hand trap. It hits pretty much every deck. If not, you could always side this card out with some other side choices that I got. You guys will see shortly. But Ash Blossom's just, like I said, the most generic one. Very good. Ash Blossom, Joyous Spring. I also run the 1 Ghost Ogre and Ho Rabbit. Alpha's a very good card, but this card just works out a little bit better. So I traded the Alpha for the Ghost Ogre, just 1 copy though, and it seems like I always see it when I need to see it. So it's very good at 1. And then last of the monsters, I run the 2 Vanillas, the Dark Magician, and the Red Eyes Black Dragon. 1 and 1 just for the Dragoon play. That's it for the monsters. Now we're going into the traps. We got the 1 Toon Terror. It's your counter trap for the Toons. You have to control Toon World and a Toon monster though in order to successfully get this card off. But when you do, you can search it even. Once you have your board set up, you can search it, set this to the field. Just a good little interruption and a good negate. So Toon Terror at 1. I run the 1 Toon Briefcase. I've been testing this card and the Toon Mask out 1 and 1. And this card's actually been working out a little bit better for me because all you need is just a Toon monster on the field and this card can be activated. So it just shuffles one of your opponent's monsters back into the deck once it's summoned. Very good. Toon Briefcase. All right, and the last trap card, I run the play set for my last hand trap, Infinite Impermanence. You guys gotta run this. This is just like the better version of Effect Veiler because not only can it just, you could use it from your hand when your opponent's going on turn 1, but also, if you need to, you could just set it on the field. You got to strategically place it on the field, though, to wherever you think your opponent's going to set a spell or a trap card. And then, as long as your opponent has a monster that you could target with this effect, it'll negate that column's spell and trap. So, this card is just very versatile, very good. Infinite Impermanence at 3, I think, is pretty much mandatory in all meta decks. All right, you guys, that's a 45-card main deck. Now, let's go into the extra deck. All right, we're gonna start off with the Dragoons package. We got the 1 Verte Anaconda and the 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, these cards right here are awesome. I'm surprised that Anaconda and Dragoons both dodged the ban list, but since they did, this package, all in general, is just mandatory to play in any of these meta decks. And this package actually works out perfectly in the Toon build, because most of the time you could always get 2 monsters to the field. So you could just go into your Anaconda, activate the effect, get Dragoons to the field, and then your opponent's gonna have a hard time getting over Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So definitely worth playing. 1 and 1. I want to explain this package a little bit too, you guys. So I run the 1 number 82 Heartlanddracco. Obviously it's a rank 4, generic rank 4. You go into this, you activate its effect to send one of your materials to the grave. You could attack directly for this turn, but it's the only monster that can attack directly, and that's why I use it with this card though. Divine Arsenal AA-ZEUS, Sky Thunder. It's because if you could attack with the number 82, you'll at least attack directly for 2,000. Then in main phase 2, you could overlay for Zeus and blow up the whole field. You got to be careful though, it blows up the whole field. So if your opponent build a nice board and you could get Heartlanddracco out at least, then you could get Zeus to the field and board wipe them. So it's a good little package to have. For my rank 7s, I have the 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon and the 1 number 11 Big Eye. These are probably, besides Dragoon and Verte Anaconda, these are probably the 2 most common extra deck monsters that I go into because it's easy to get Red Eyes Toon Dragon and Toon Dark Magician to the field at the same time. And if you have the Toon BLS and you have the Red Eyes and the Toon Dark Magician and they all attack directly, if you add up all their attack at 7,900. So main phase 2, the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes go into the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, and then if your opponent activates a card, it's GG. So Red Eye's Flare Metal's good. And then also number 11, Big Eye. You could just target and steal one of your opponent's cards. If they have no protection, just take one of them bad boys and keep it on your side of the field. So number 11, Big Eye, Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon. Very good cards. Okay, now we're gonna go into the other rank 4s. I'm gonna go into Tornado Dragon. You gotta pop some back row. Go into Tornado Dragon. I got one Abyss Dweller. If you got an opponent that's activating cards in the graveyard, kind of like Eldritch or Prank Kids, Abyss Dweller is pretty lit. And then I got this little package. I got the Bahumut Shark. This is for the Toon Mermaids. You get both of those to the field, you go into Bahumut Shark. And then Bahumut Shark will let you pitch a material to special summon Toadally Awesome. And Toadally Awesome's just a negate. You could just tribute itself to negate something on the field and it'll get set to your side of the field. So just an awesome little combo piece to have. And then now I'm going into the Link monsters. I got a total of 5. We got the 1 Link Karibo, just in case if they hit the Red Eyes, the Blackstone of Legend. If that gets hit with the Feck Veiler or Ash Blossom and nothing to do with it, you just go into the Link Karibo. Not a bad option. Also, another Link one you're going to is Relinquished Anima. If your opponent messes up and puts it in their monster zone, special summons a good monster in that one monster zone right down from the extra monster zone, you could just use Anima and go steal it. So it's very nice. Also, worst comes to worst, you go into the Nightmares. You got the Nightmare Cerberus. Or you could go into Nightmare Phoenix. Another 2 monsters with different names. You could pop a back row. And last but not least, going into the 1 Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. The only Link 3 that I play in the deck, but it is the best one. Because if you get this on the field, your opponent has no out to it, it's GG. You're going to be banishing cards or attacking twice, and this card's crazy. So, Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Now that's it. That's 15 cards in my extra deck. Now, you guys, let's go to the side. Off with the side, you gotta run the Big Daddy from space, the 3 Nibiru, the Primal Being. Now, I'm gonna actually throw in the token with them. So, this card right here is a very good side deck card, if not a main deck card. This card just hurts the Prank Kids deck. This card hurts any combo deck that special summons monsters like crazy, like the Dragon Links. Any deck that special summons a lot of monsters, this card hurts. So, but you gotta strategically plan it and time it, because you don't want to make a token that's just too big that you can't get over. Unless you got Comic Hand, then you Comic Hand it over to your side of the field and attack. But 3 Nibiru, I think, is definitely a staple in this extra deck. Droll and Lockbird. There's a lot of decks in this new format that go to search, search, and search. And you gotta knock it off at 1. They could get 1 search and that's it. Droll and Lockbird, very good card that's bouncing in and out of formats. It's a good card for this format, so I gotta run 3 of those. All right, and my next, these are all the rest of the cards are spells. We'll start off with the 3, Dark Ruler No More. Now, I was playtesting the deck with Forbidden Droplet for the longest time. And the only problem with Forbidden Droplet is that you have to discard a card in your hand. Most of the time it's a monster card to stop your monster's effects and no one can respond. But it's hard to discard with this deck. It's very hard, very hard. The only time I really like discarding in this deck is to pop a Floodgate back row, or something that's hurting the actual Toon Kingdom from going off. But Dark Ruler No More, the only thing with Forbidden Droplet is it doesn't discard, so Dark Ruler No More doesn't have the attacks, though. All it does is just negate all the monster effects on the field, and they can't respond to it. But the only thing is your opponent cannot take no damage this turn. But at least you could get rid of the monsters. Dark Ruler No More, I found it's just a little bit better because you don't discard. So, gotta run this at 3. Also, running at 3, I got the Bling, the triple Tactics Talent. Now, a lot of decks in the current format run a lot of hand traps, maybe like 9 to 12 at the minimum. This card right here, if your opponent has a lot of hand traps and they're activating them on your turn, you side this in. This is like the new Call by the Grave on steroids. And it really is 3 banned cards in 1. Triple Tactics talent has made me a believer. I have won some incredible games with the Toons with this card right here. So you gotta run it at 3. And my last set of cards is the back row hate for all the rogue decks that have the back row. I got the 2 Twin Twisters and the 1 Harpie's Feather Duster. If Duster was unlocked, that'd be 3 Dusters. But Twin Twisters is the next best thing. You just pop whatever back row's trying to stop you. Prohibition, Mystic Mind, got to get all those cards off of the field. Them Solemn Judgments, you guys got to pop those. So you either pop it or you force them to activate it. And either one's good because the lower the life points your opponent has, the easier it is for the Toons to kill them. So that's pretty much my take on that. So I run this is my little 3 package for the back row destruction. And that's the deck, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile as much as I do. I'm going to be play testing this deck, you guys, non-stop. And I will keep bringing you guys updated versions and updated builds of this Toon deck because, after all, I am a huge fan of the Toons. And I personally can't wait to see them get more support, you guys. And if it does come, you guys best believe that the Meta Bros will be putting out all the Toon updated profiles. This is your boy Meta Bro Jake, thanking you guys for joining us here today. These are my Toons. If you guys got any comments or ideas on the Toon deck, I would love to hear them, you guys, down in the comment section below. Let me know what your guys' builds are. If you guys feel like this build's good, or if you guys feel like I should add any more cards to the deck, you guys let me know, man. I'm always playing the deck. I'm always running different versions of it. This is the version right here that's for the format that we're given today. But also, I've seen a lot of builds out there that have some spice. I don't mind hearing about them, you guys. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the Super Meta Bros because we are Yu-Gi-Oh! We are everything Yu-Gi-Oh! And wherever Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, so are the Meta Bros. And also, while you're subscribed, be sure to beat down that notification bell to stay up to date with Super Meta Times. Because the times is crazy right now, you guys, just like this deck. But when these times are crazy, the Meta Bros are insane. And we're always here to keep bringing you guys the freshest Toon deck profiles and Toon duel videos that YouTube has to offer, you guys. So thank y'all very much for joining me here today. You guys stay safe out there. Meta Bro out. Peace out.